Salutations everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Dominions 4 Thrones of Ascension. I'm your host, BrainBoy20, where we had last left off. We had attempted to push out while they've attempted to push us back in several locations of their territory, as I'm trying to go for a remove his domain victory by destroying all forms of temple and worship of him. So currently there's a battle of Duros. We pushed them off. Ragthan, our forces were beaten by the defending forces, as we just simply didn't bring enough troops. Interesting. It was a battle of the Misty Bog, but our forces defeating the attacking forces, cutting them in half once again, because I'm fairly certain we've seen all these battles. Of course, we killed another Kalian scout and gained a few more death gems. Now, this time around, we have a fairly large section of our army that I once again have to rebuild and bring together, because we definitely have enough troops to basically hoard up and send them all out again. Of course their gods are right there. Of freaking course. However, you've successfully cast Sea King's Court last episode. Let's get the Sea King completely finished, finalized, and we've got an objective for you. Cthulhu. Shantak, first things first, I need you to cast another bit of Sea King's Court, as I really would like to get more, another commander and more troops funneled forward into Menace. I'm basically going to take these forces and try to push them forward, as we're getting very, very close to a domain victory. The only thing stopping us is Anramark and the throne of Ascension there. However, they've basically been reduced to Sphelion. They've basically been reduced to Sphelion and Anramark, with nothing but their domain strength. Rabadan, I don't think you literally can move. Yeah. We can attempt to take on this force. Odds are it's not going to go well, but there's nothing stopping us. Let us take a combination of both of these hordes. I'm basically going to start building up a small army here to assist in trying to take out the surrounding temples. It's basically going to run around temple bashing to try to end them, because that throne is simply in too defensible of a location for us to take on. And if I can end this game now, that would be excellent. Now, Mind Hunt has been cast, and the commander called Oceanus was mentally attacked, but he managed to resist. There was another battle in the Misty Bog. Kalium attacking me yet again. However, their horde gets lower and lower each time, while my horde remains relatively stagnant, aside from a few spellcasters who are on the defensive line. So eventually they're going to have to fail. As I said, we already wiped out all their air troops. And blessings of courage are going off. I mean, soon the Amazonians will also end up dead. Like I said, all they have are their archers and whatever melee line they have remaining. Which they've basically been sending this army against us again and again, but it's only been rebuffed time and time again, so I really am not concerned. Remika is also attacking them, trying to take out that force with what army we can muster. And we're going to pull back shortly thereafter, because all I'm doing here is destroying a temple to try to ensure our domain continues to spread. Basically, that was a neat army that they had, but we've basically taken them down. We just need to get close enough to hit them one final time. I'm curious what those phantasmal warriors are, but I can only hazard a guess that those are spellcasters. I could take a look, but I'm not particularly interested. Menace, which is just the Sea King's Court and his army of trolls marching forward. And like a small token defender force to try and stop me. It's Spirehorn Seraph, but you're not very powerful. Basically, the amount of gold I have saved up, we're just going to rush by a bunch of province defense to make sure they can't take it back as we take on these forces. And that's cute, the Kalian Longbeds, but they're not going to deal enough damage to actually kill any of my trolls. can't tell if the ice elemental is ours or theirs. Now we gain increase in dominion and an increase in order in Ophele. So we have access to the Wellspring of Secrets. Now Remika is of course going to get max level province defense immediately. Who knows, they might not even be able to take it with max level province defense, although they probably will pull that off. And we have a decent force together. I say decent, so we're going to make sure that we can do something with these people. Yes, the captains of the mermen can go join the front lines here. So as it stands, of course, melee fighters in the front, ranged troops in the back. Honestly, ranged troops can surround the commanders just to basically provide meat shields for them. And this horde definitely can't do anything, or we can't do anything to assist this horde. But one thing we can definitely do is go through another bit of temple bashing. Kafuga. Let's see if we can bash this temple before we inevitably lose Menace. You might end up dead, but you're gonna get some assistance behind you in the form of more Sea King, or more trolls. And who knows what'll happen. Shantak, can you go back to casting more contact sea trolls? We could definitely use some more. Rabadon can't do anything else, so we might as well end our turn and get closer and closer to the end of all things here. Well, that was unexpected. Let's see. Remacia. We have a couple battles to go through here. I think it's one final desperate push, but we own way, way too much of the world. I don't really feel like an ending. They're definitely holding strong. I guess we'll save those comments for later. We'll see how their armies fared against our own. We definitely have an army of archers and spearmen holding line. Oh, this is against the province defenders alone. Interesting. Their armies are routed, therefore I do not care what else they do. We've already won in this war. At least this battle in particular. Alright. Menace. That's the one I basically expect to lose, unless my trolls got off first. Natural rain. Well, it's not a humongous boon in their favor. And maybe the trolls will be tanky enough to hold the line. Who knows? Wow, they had vine ogres. When did they get that? The Ahurain. The Ahurains are Yatazas of water, rains, and prosperity and health. They were once companions of the great Ahura of the waters. When he was banished from this world, they fled creation. Their presence will bring rainfall, they can cure disease and bring their subjects with them beneath the waves. So you're able to go through the waves, but you're not able to stop me. How disappointing. Alright, I kind of expected us to be routed, most likely our commanders had died, but that's not a big issue enough to me for me to care. Now... Oh god, the sea trolls just getting demolished. I'm strong enough to do some damage before they die. That's about as much as I can expect. Fasdir is us attacking them in the northern reaches with what army this... Oh... What have they got? Icy Protection, Mist Form. All attacks made against it with only 1 point of damage. The enchantment ends if the being is struck by a particularly hard blow. What mage cast that? You're definitely around here somewhere. I don't see you. Spirehorn Seraph? I doubt you cast the Mist Form. I really do. Oh well. Basically the Summer Lions in combination with all the other forces of theirs just wipe out whatever I've got. and Folatras, which is the humongous army we've got together here, versus what little army they have remaining. And they have another Ahrain. Unfortunately for them, that will not do them any good in this fight, as natural rainfall does not assist their army as a whole. Then again, I speak of battlefield buffs, but I never really seem to use any myself. I should probably go for a more army-centered, buff-heavy strategy next time around. That's really the only difference here, is I just didn't have the access to the massive death mages that I was using previously. As useful as they were. Oh well, really? I thought she died. No more natural rain for them, at least. There was one more battle in the Misty Bog. Kalium, one final attempted assault with what they have remaining. Except this time they literally have no melee line. I'm not even going to bother showing you this, because we all know what happens here. They lose even more of their troops, and they gain nothing. Their Cid gave us water gems. An influential coral queen has opened the gates to her coral castle. Atlanteans from near and far have gathered to hear her sermons. A large number of them decided to heed their call and take up arms for the awakening god. Children are disappearing at night, strange creatures skulk the darkness. Well, I'm honestly surprised that that's a thing that can occur. And I'm also happy that you can gain this event the first 80 units. 80. I could barely get that normally. Oh well. Montumwa, the god of Kalium, has been permanently vanquished. At the end, his dominion did not touch a single of his provinces, and his life force died with his dominion. Victory. You reign supreme. You are the Pantocrator. Your enemies are cast down, broken, dead, enslaved, or imprisoned. You are the sole author of fate. You summon the tides, dictate the seasons, give or withhold fortune and life, light up the sun at dawn and quench its fires at dusk. All move according to your will. Endless eons pass. But then, at some unknowable time, there is a change. Something stirs in the void. You receive something reminiscent of ancient longings and doubts you thought forgotten, perhaps suggestive of a sight unseen or a tune unheard. What is this thing, this longing, this faraway, fleeting enigma? You lift your presence from the world, ascend from the thrones, and rush into the void, racing after that receding, beckoning something. Born on wings of absolute authority, you race further and further away, chasing that sole thing which you do not understand. Still further away, leaving the world behind you, it becomes a fleeting memory, a distant dream, a tune unheard, a sight unseen. Down in the world you left behind, old servants and enemies feel their chains loosen. Doors thought forever shut are slowly creeping open. Ancient things long thought dead stir. The thrones sit empty, but hungry eyes have turned their gaze upon them, sensing a new dawn. We have become victorious. As strong as these independents were, at the end we are able to gain the throne of the First Age, claimed by Mutumwa, but he's no longer existent. Even with the 3 dominions spread an increase in magic, we simply had more domain than he could ever possibly deal with. Now, out of curiosity, what are the magic sites that were there? Because we found everything in our territories that mattered. We've got the Unfound Door for Astral, Labyrinth of Skulls, Garden of Frozen Flowers, and the Ancient Temple, which produces an Astral Gem a turn. Enchanted Well, Enchanted Wind, which gives supply of points as well, which is great, and more Earth Gems, and a Labyrinth of Skulls. Mine of the Superior Iron for 60 resources, Burial Mound for Death Gems, and a Earth and Water Gem. And if you wish to hear my final thoughts of this play session and stuff like that, feel free to skip on ahead a bit. I'm basically going to be hunting through this, seeing what was actually going on there, or those that I could see. Shrine of the Outcast to summon Foul Spawn, Canyon of the Wild Winds to summon Air, 100 resources, Wellspring of Secrets. The Citadel of the Frozen Crystal for Blizzard Warrior and Temple Guard, and gain 3 air and 2 water gems, and allows the recruitment of the Wingless. High Temple of the Magi for the Magus and High Magus, giving us 2 fire and gems and 2 astral, which I'm guessing they were abusing to create some of their more powerful mages. And the Steel Ovens to produce 75 resources and give a construction bonus of 20. Interesting, I've never seen that one before. and 2 astral gems. Thunder Oak for air, Geyser for water and fire, Shrine of the Outcast for foul spell. Oh, they had 2 Shrines of the Outcast. No wonder they were using it so much. There's Sun Ridge, Graveyard of the Damned, Mine of Superior Iron, and Cloud Pillars. Multiple Enchanted Gates, the Cave of the Clouds. Really, they don't have much of anything else. Statue of the Sitting God. Really, there's not much else that we didn't know. All the things were very interesting. I was getting closer and closer to having a chance to finalize my research of evocation, which probably would have spelled doom for them, as I'd be able to cast, every time they cast a spell, I would get magic gems from it. And with the casting of Strands of Arcane Power, I would just start spam casting as many spells as I could, because I would get such a kickback from casting those spells that I would basically be able to instantly, have a mage column just keep summoning armies every turn in order to run them over. Furthermore, I was eventually planning on taking Oceanus to the field, as I believe she'd be able to do Sailor's Death, or some similarly powerful water spell. Even though I think you're aquatic? Yes, you can't leave the sea. Interesting. Anyway, I guess for this specific episode, or this specific set, it kind of felt a little anticlimactic. But then again, endings of this sort are always anticlimactic. I guess a difficult AI is still a little too easy, even though it was a bit hairy earlier on. Through just some quick strategic work and then dismantling his religious sect, I was able to effectively overrun him through pure domain strength. So I guess next time around, if we do Dominions 4 again anytime soon, I'm going to challenge myself to do a combat awakening. Basically a pretender god who's built to be a combat monster early on, with maybe a little bit of everything style of magic, so he could cast any spell that comes into play, get some, and maybe run as Urmor, which are not the strongest military-wise, but very, very good at producing income to build more of their military. Anyway, hope you've all enjoyed watching this series. This has been BrainBoy20 with Let's Play Dominions 4 Thrones of Ascension, and I'm signing off. If you enjoyed the video series, feel free to like, comment, or subscribe, as it helps out a great deal. And if you wish to purchase the game yourself after this, I always now leave a link in the description below for the game. And I hope to catch you on the next series. Farewell.